It is another edition of your agricultural biotechnology show, Agribiotech, where we talk about the importance of biotechnology to agricultural enhancement in Nigeria. I am Lara Afolayo. On last week's edition of the program, we saw Nigeria's National Committee on Naming, Registration and Release of Crop Materials grant approval for the commercial release of two BT cotton varieties, the MRC 7377BG2 and MRC 7361BG2 cotton varieties. Today, we shall be speaking with the chairman of that committee, Sunday Oladele, who is also the director and chief executive officer of the National Center for Genetic Resources and Biotechnology, on the processes that led to this approval. Of course, not forgetting the OFAB Media Award for 2018, where Nigerian journalists who have distinguished themselves in agricultural biotechnology reporting were rewarded. We shall be bringing excerpts from that event in the course of the program. We now begin with what's new in the world of agricultural biotechnology. Ethiopian scientists have developed a new sorghum variety that could lead to multiple annual yields. Data from the National Statistics Agency in Ethiopia shows the country has almost 2 million hectares of sorghum fields and harvests about 4 million tons of sorghum grains every year. The new sorghum variety is expected to produce yields 2 to 3 times a year with continuous water supply and at least once when there is water scarcity. The country's scientists say national average yield for sorghum in the country is about 2,400 kilograms per hectare, but the new variety could increase yields 5 times. One of the new variety's unique traits is that it can produce yields for 7 to 10 growing years without the need for plowing. The rate of biotechnology adoption has risen globally as Tanzania makes progress in research of genetically modified organisms. A new report which shows the global status of commercialized GM crops indicates that planting of the crops increased by 3% to 189.8 million hectares in 2017. It also estimates that 17 million farmers in 24 countries are involved in planting genetically modified crops, while the US, Brazil, Argentina, Canada, and India remain top 5 GM crop growing countries. The report, which was launched by the International Service for the Acquisition of Agribiotech Applications (ISAAA), shows 5 countries plant 91.3% of the global biotechnology crop area, with the US reaching an average of 94.5% adoption rate for planting of soybeans, maize, and cotton. A new report by Graham Brooks and Peter Bafoot of UK-based PG Economics has quantified the significant financial benefit of using GM crop technology to maximize agricultural productivity. The report, which has been produced, looks at areas around the world where genetic modification has been used to boost farming productivity and save cost. The authors conclude that the financial benefit at farm level was $18.2 billion in 2016 alone and up to $186.1 billion between 1996 and 2016. 65% of the grains came from yield and production gains, while 35% was from cost savings. Scientists want Nigeria to improve on research that will help develop the agricultural sector. They hope this will allow for improved food production and strengthen the nation's quest for self-sufficiency in food production. They were speaking at the second OFAB Awards in Abuja, the Nigerian capital. Agribiotech was there. The second annual award of the Open Forum in Agricultural Biotechnology OFAB, a gathering aimed at celebrating gentlemen of Nigeria's pen profession. The organizers of this award say the media has contributed immensely to the demystification of scientific theories of biotechnology in Nigeria to the public. The Science and Technology authorities say science and technology is shaping development and the way people think and act. This has pushed government to increase funding for research and development. They now want scientists to improve on their research efforts on agricultural biotechnology.
Government has demonstrated its determination to make science and technology the core on which the wheel of development revolves. The establishment of the National Biotechnology Development Agency over 2 decades ago to prepare the ground for the deployment of modern biotechnology in all sectors of the economy, health, environment, industry, and agriculture is a testimony of government's deliberate efforts to use science and technology to boost food production, ensure affordable healthcare delivery system, make available industrial raw materials, and establish a sustainable environment in the country. Our primitive agricultural practices are facing various challenges, and from what we are seeing all over the world, science, technology, and innovation hold the key to overcoming these challenges.
All over the world, technology has become the cornerstone responsible for bumper harvest and for self-sufficiency in food, in quality food production. Nigeria must not be left behind. In the last decade, we have traveled to the nooks and crannies of the country, spreading the message of hope, demystifying fears, and encouraging our people, especially farmers and policymakers and lawmakers as well, on the power as well as the efficacy of modern biotechnology tools, what it can do, the miracle it can do to farmers, to change the income of our poor resource farmers in Africa at large and Nigeria in particular.
The gathering is positive that the introduction of biotechnology into Nigeria's agricultural space will turn around agricultural production for good, while positive the new approval of 2 BT cotton varieties will improve the country's agriculture fortunes.
Just last week, Thursday, the 26th of July 2018, at the Varietal Release Committee meeting in Ibadan, the first homegrown, genetically modified crop, BT cotton, was released in the country. We all know the impact this development will have on our moribund textile industry. Actually, 2 varieties were released on that occasion. As the government agency charged with the promotion of modern biotechnology, we call on the media to work closely with us in our efforts to ensure the technology is successfully deployed in all spheres of our agriculture. Other countries of the world have moved on to more advanced forms of modern biotechnology, including gene editing, cloning, and so on. But here in Nigeria, we are still debating genetic modification, a technology that is over 25 years old.
In today's world, farming can only become attractive and meaningful if science and technology is injected into it. But efforts to ensure this happens in Nigeria is constantly attacked and criticized by those who are not competent or knowledgeable enough on these issues. Today, we are celebrating the contribution of distinguished media practitioners to our advocacy and sensitization efforts that we have made for the past 9 years. It is giving honor to whom honor is due. The media has been our main ally in this business since we set out to promote modern biotechnology in the country. The overall winner in our maiden edition last year conquered Africa by emerging the overall winner in Africa.
Then comes the award presentation in the categories of Agricultural Impact Story Award, Emerging Biotechnology Journalist Award, Biotechnology Blogger Award, Agricultural Biotechnology Documentary Journalist Award, and Agricultural Biotechnology Journalist of the Year Award.
The best blogger over Nigeria, best blogger in the year 2018.
I present to you this award for the best print media award. Congratulations, Pacific. We are really proud of you. Congratulations.
The award's overall winner and the first place winners in the different categories will have their stories pitched against those of winners from 6 other African countries at the OFAB African Journalist of the Year Award, which will hold in Burkina Faso later this year. Following the recent approval of 2 BT cotton varieties for commercial release in Nigeria, Agribiotech caught up with the chairman of the Varietal Release Committee, Sunday Oladele, who is also the director and chief executive officer of the National Center for Genetic Resources and Biotechnology. He speaks on the processes that led to the 2 BT cotton varieties approval.
Just as any other conventionally bred crops in Nigeria, the process is number one, for the genetically modified crop to be registered and released in Nigeria. First and foremost, it must get approval from the National Biosafety Management Agency, NBMA, to prove that this crop or this material does not contain anything detrimental to human health or to even animals, whether they use it as feed or as food. When that is sure, when that clearance is obtained, then it will now go into confinement trial. Confinement trials means that it will not be exposed to anybody. The researchers are evaluating this material under confinement, so that it's not going to pollute any other crops that are around. For example, cotton has just been registered. It has gone through a 2 years confinement trials. After the 2 years confinement trials, and it is proven to really have the targeted genes that is resistant to bollworm, then it is now moved to the on-farm. And a number of multilocational trials were carried out in the cotton grown belt, whereby the materials are now exposed to farmers vis-a-vis what they have been planting before. And after 1 year of multilocational testing to show the farmers, the farmers were happy with the materials, and they are now requesting that the materials be registered so that it can go to commercialization. So that is the process the material has gone through. And then when those trials have been carried out, then the company promoting it now made a proposal to the Institute of Agricultural Research, ABU, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, for them to look at the document of the report of what they have obtained from the field. After it had been screened at that level, then the proposal was now submitted to the committee. And as I speak now, the technical subcommittee on crops evaluated it on the strength that the NBMA have certified this as non-detrimental. based on that, we evaluated it, as a normal crop. Yeah, the two varieties that have just been registered and released, according to the company that proposed it, originated from India and tested in Nigeria. And the two varieties are Maiko C567. And this was recommended based on resistance to bollworm, tolerance to other sucking insects, and then also it was discovered that the productivity was high, particularly for seed, and even for length quality, the quality was very high. The second one was also Maiko 571. It was also recommended based on the same quality as the first one. Good quality of length, fiber length. Fiber length was longer, and then also resistance to bollworm, and that the bollworm has been a very critical problem of cotton in Nigeria, which has made so many cotton farmers to abandon their farm. But with these registered varieties now, many farmers will be happy, and then the textile industry will also be revived. To the committee, there is nothing special that was discovered except that is solving a particular problem which has ravaged the cotton industry, and that is one, the resistance. In fact, that is the particular gene that was inserted, resistance to the bollworm. When bollworm attack cotton, it can spoil the whole farm, hectares, hundreds of hectares of farm. But when you now get a variety that is resistant to it, that means farmers will get, they will get value for their farm, for their labor. So that is the one major, and then also productivity is far higher than what we have in our local breed, the existing breed. So those are the two key points that at least encourage the committee. Yeah, what happens next now is now the work of the company that is promoting the varieties to now go back to the drawing board and then organize how the seeds will be available. And from the information given at the committee level, that already they have been training seed growers, farmers, local farmers. They have been educating them on how to produce it. And the good news is that these seeds are going to be produced in Nigeria, meaning that this is another window of employment. As you know, the federal government have been clamoring for employment generation. More farmers, more young people will now be involved in seed production, and also people can now go into a very large scale farming because they are sure their cotton will not be attacked by this bollworm. The committee's message to the farming communities in Nigeria is that we are here to ensure that anything that will not be good enough for them, the committee will step it down. The committee will not approve of it. So they should be confident, and they should have faith in the organs of government, particularly whether they are to regulate the earth issue or to regulate the seed industry, as in case of National Agricultural Seed Council. They should have faith in agency of government as to give them the best without any compromise. Yeah, I am aware. I visited some of the confined trials. I'm aware a lot of researches are going on the BT cowpea, but it has not reached the stage that committee can look at it at all, because it will still have to go on farm. These have not been exposed to farmers. They are still screening it under confinement, not to expose to other cowpeas outside. So it is until they get to that stage and then they are able to go on farm. And it's not just because something is maybe maruca resistant or have this good trait. What is the value for cultivation? If the yield eventually does not translate to increase in high yield, and it will give farmers more money. It's not sacrosanct we must release BT crops if it doesn't have any added advantage. And then mark you, before it will even be brought to us at all, it must have been certified by National Biosafety Management Agency. And being government agency and with thorough laboratory analysis, they must have come up that this material, if eventually it performs very well, conform to the National Varietal Release Committee standard, it is safe. It is on that basis we will even look at the paper. But without that certificate, without that approval, we will not look at it. But once it is certified that this material is okay, then we now put it, test it, and look at it vis-a-vis what is on ground on the standard of the National Varietal Release Committee, meaning that it must have value for cultivation and use. Maybe they are bringing it for nutritional quality, for high yielding, or for other industrial uses. It is on that basis that the committee will have a look at it. On the same day that two BT cotton varieties or hybrids were given registration, we register one new soybean variety, which is very high in oil content and also resistance to rust. We also register some maize varieties. We register 7 of them, 5 hybrids and 2 varieties. Also, we register one sweet potato, orange flesh potato. And nutritional wise, many of the states are now feeding school children, and this is variety that contains a very high carotenoid, whereby to improve the nutrition of the children, and is in high demand everywhere now. It has just been registered to be commercialized. Also, we registered 3 varieties of sorghum, and these are local varieties that were improved after years of selection. We also register 3 varieties of groundnut. Groundnut is being revived now in the north, and they need more varieties, and these are recommended based on high pod yield and high home yield, which are beneficiary to animal. We also register 2 conventional cowpea varieties for commercialization in Nigeria. So in total, we register additional 17 varieties of other 6 crops. That apart from the Secretariat of National Varietal Release Committee, which is National Center for Genetic Resources and Biotechnology, we also have the mandate to conserve the genetic resources of Nigeria. We have gene bank, and we have short-term gene bank, long-term gene bank, where we have over 11,000 germplasm that we use to distribute to researchers across the country and across the world. So it is important, and that the public is aware that we have this in Nigeria, and whoever is maybe research students, research scientists, we can avail them at free of charge. We give them germplasm for their usage. We also have tissue culture laboratory, which is functional, and is very, very functional, and we train a number of students to, undergraduates, postgraduates of higher institution. So.
And this brings us to the end of today's program. Let's have your reactions on the newly approved BT cotton varieties. Do send us emails on them as we provide answers. The email address as shown on your screen is agribiotech1@yahoo.com. Send us tweets at agribiotech13 or comment on our Facebook page, Agribiotech on TVC. I am Lara Afolayan. Goodbye.